Hello everyone and welcome. It is Sunday the 12th, I believe. Yep, the 12th of November 2017, and you are tuning in to the 10th Clash for Char. I am your host for today and your solo caster. Sale is in fact watching a movie right now, so he was a little bit too busy. And I'm just going to do something that I haven't done before, so I don't know how well this is going to work. But here we go, let's do it anyway. Just going to bring up my cam for a second, because I did order a camera. My actual camera is in a weird place, so I'm going to be looking off to the side, because that's where everything's going on. But basically, just a quick introduction. This is obviously my flat where I live. This is the 10th Clash for Char. It is one of the smaller ones we've done, basically the same size as about the second one, I believe. You can see my cat behind me as well, being all cute back there. Trying to think of what else there is to really introduce. I've got a game ready to jump into. The tournament has in fact started, and we are going to jump in the first game, which will be Sayle'sBaldHead. I had to cast this game purely because of that name, and his opponent is SK's target, so that should be an entertaining match. Let's just quickly throw up the map overlay. Just gonna bring this up here just so I can show you exactly what the maps are gonna be. There is a 2-minute delay if you're wondering. That's why things are a little bit later than they would be. But here we go. So let's bring up the main CFC overlay. And there you go. You can see at the moment the prize pool is $100. The maps overall, this is for the final. This is the maps for the final, of course. The way the map banning works in this is you have a best of 3 all the way through the bracket until you get to the finals. You get to ban 1 map each, and the rest you play the maps in order. So the maps this week, returning from last week, is Katrina for the first map, Flight Dreamliner as the second map. I believe that was from the Korean Air OSL. Fantasy 2 returning from last week as well. Then fourthly we have Pathfinder, and then finally we do have Eye of the Storm. So 1 3-player map, 3 4-player maps, and 1 2-player map. As usual, that's been the sort of map thing I am doing. Basically, I've been doing the whole time. I've tried to make sure that's all working. Looks like Foxhan was trying to figure out if the bracket was finalized. It should be, so hopefully. Hopefully we're going to have everyone actually turn up. I know there is sometimes I don't actually do check-ins because sometimes you get the problem where people forget to check in, and that can cause a bit of a problem, but still showing the map overlay at the moment, I believe. Yeah, just trying to sort of get on top of everything really, seeing exactly what's going on. I actually keep looking around over to my other screen. I've got my TV to the left of me, which is the right obviously on the camera. Just see what's going on in chat. Looks like everything has started smoothly, which is good. Just waiting for the first couple of games to really get started, and then we can sort of move in. So what I'll do is just throw back up the map overlay once more, just so you guys, if you haven't seen them, can have a look at the map, sort of get used to what they look like, and do what you need to do basically, because it can be a bit confusing. This tournament always does have quite weird maps, so you know there's not too much you can really do about that. You've just got to get used to them, get going, and see how it goes. So here we go. Allow me to just make it through the bracket. Looks like my stream cut off for a second. Hopefully my internet's fine, because that would make it very awkward to cast. But we should be good. Just close anything we don't need open. Yeah, they're just sorting out their map bans, so we should be able to get going in just a moment. I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long. Of course, I did choose to start this in the afternoon, to make it a little bit more accessible for Koreans, Europeans, and Americans. For Americans, it can be a little bit difficult. It's quite early in the morning, but... It looks like there's actually a chat bug already. Like, we've only just started up, and there's already a little bit of a chat bug. But hopefully that should all sort itself out. I can't really reload my game already. Looks like we can see each other's whispers, so that's all good. Of course, if you're just tuning in, this is the Clash Royale. It's run now for 10 weeks. Kind of crazy. There's been kind of a lot going on, really. We've had some crazy games. Been really fun. I've casted most of it with Sale. There's been a few I've done solo. Other than that, looks like things are getting underway, which is cool. Looks like Jello missed the face cam, so it's all fine. No one's saying anything. Target can't actually see anybody else's chat whatsoever, so that's a bit awkward. Looks like we will be jumping into the game, so let me just throw up the actual game overlay before I forget. That could be a bit of a problem if I don't. Oh, apparently they got chat bugged in the middle of their bans. Looks like it is going to be a TVZ actually, or a ZVZ even for the first game I picked. I picked a really good game to start with, but that's fine. Let's try. Let's see if we can join this game. They're going to ban the maps afterwards, so hopefully they'll be able to see each other in game, and then we can sort of figure out exactly what's going on with the maps. Let's see if he's on Discord, actually. Yeah, this is the one problem. The one problem with everything. Ah, Target's actually on here. Hold on. Yeah, he's on Discord, so we should be fine. If he is, in fact, SCC's target... I'm gonna invite him to the Clash Royale server. Yeah, it looks like they are both Impact Zerg, so I can actually start updating my overlay already. Hopefully we shouldn't take too long to get to the last game. It's going to be a ZVZ, so should be quite exciting. Okay, apparently they don't really care what the maps are, but that's cool. What we're going to do is we are going to set it up anyway. Ooh, Sayle'sBaldHead might race pick. He is going to race pick, so we're not going to see a ZVZ first of all. Right, Dreamliner has been vetoed by our friendly Target Zerg player. What is the map that is going to be banned by Zerg? Okay, so let's just copy paste the maps to them just so they know exactly what they are. They should be able to figure it out, but you know what? Right, okay, so we've got the 3 maps, so he is going to rehost, so we are going to start on Fantasy 2. We saw this quite a lot last week, and it was a pretty fun map. There's a lot of cool things that go on there. So Fantasy Pathfinder, then finally, if we make it there, Eye of the Storm. So let's set that up, quickly bring that up on screen just so you guys can see everything that's going on while I join the game. And we should be good to go, so let's go here. So target 1. Oh, it's going to be a PvZ. Right, we're going to have a PvZ in the first game, not a TV, well, not a thingy thing. He's playing Protoss as a tribute to Sayle'sBaldHead. Wow, how mana. I don't know if that's mana or not actually. But yeah, we will have a PvZ, so it should be quite fun. Yeah, let's hopefully get this underway. I know we are a little bit delayed with all the starting and everything. Sometimes it does take a little bit to get into the first game. Apparently, Sayle'sBaldHead is a 1700 MMR random player, and target is 2100, so either way, we could see a very interesting game here. They go on a bit crazy. Looks like we see some spam coming out from Sayle'sBaldHead while we wait for this game. Right, they are ready. I am ready. We're going to get into the first game of the 10th Clash for Char tournament today on the November 12th, 2017. And spawning in the top right corner, we do have the orange Zerg target. Then spawning here over on the top left corner, we do have Sayle'sBaldHead, the blue Protoss, and I cannot believe I have to read out that name. That is so good. I'm just going to set the colours on my overlay, and we should be good to go. So it is orange versus blue. Could be a lot of fun. Hopefully that's all appearing on the overlay all okay. Should be. I'm just going to check OBS quickly while everything starts. Yep, that all looks good to me. A little bit of friendly chatter here, and I need to actually stop the synthwave I've got playing in the background. I completely forgot that was there. And then let's turn on the game music, and we are good to go. So it looks like we're not going to see anything too crazy in the beginning of this game. There is actually the pylon going out at the front. He's moving back, so it looks like he will be going for a gateway expand. Forge expand, or Forge fast expand even, is quite powerful on this map, especially in this position. If you don't actually know this, guys, the reason why it's called Fantasy, there was a Fantasy 1 as well, every corner of the map is actually its own spawn point from a different map. So I believe this is Nostalgia. I can't actually remember the other ones, but Drone keeps reading them out to me, but the two that we will see is the Nostalgia spawn, and the one in the top left corner, which I believe is like Requiem or something, if I remember correctly. But Drone is probably shaking his head right now if he is watching. Looks like we do see the probe going out after the gateway, so it is in fact the gateway spawn. The gateway double expand even. We see the spawning pool going up after an overpool actually. So pretty standard builds from both sides. It is a little bit harder to expand here as the Zerg player. There is 2 bridges that you have to defend. And with an early gateway build, the Zealots can do quite a lot of damage if you're not prepared for it. This is probably one of the most open expansions on the map, minus maybe this one, but even then you have this choke here. Now one thing, I'm not too sure how Protoss would actually deal with this spawn up here. I guess you'd have to watch some You'd have to watch some nostalgia games to really see how that plays out. But it should be pretty interesting here. Now, Target is supposedly the better player, so maybe he will feel a little bit more confident in comparison to Sayle'sBaldHead, who has not yet scouted where his opponent is. He, of course, is the Protoss player, so this could be a pretty entertaining match. We see the Nexus coming up, and I'm glad Sarah has just caught up with the name. That's such a good name. We see some early Lings. There are actually 6. The Zealot and the Lings are going to actually pass each other like ships in the night. The Zealot's going to move in. There is 2 Lings here to help defend. But Target still doesn't actually know where his opponent is. He's sending his Lings in the complete wrong direction. The Zealot is in the main. Can it get any drone kills? I don't think it can. There's already 4 Lings. And this should be enough to hold off this first Zealot. Now, I feel kind of sad for Target, who maybe isn't too sure of the map. He did say he didn't know the map at the beginning. He's moved into the main, but unfortunately for him it is the wrong one. And this gives Sayle'sBaldHead a chance to wall off. I'm not sure if that's actually a Ling type, but it looks like it might be. But he does have the Zealot blocking in both the other positions. The first cannon is coming up, but we do see a Ling all in coming out from Target right now, wanting to end the first game in this best of 3. But the trouble is, Sayle'sBaldHead has scouted it. Can he hold? There's a gap in his wall right now. He needs to make sure he plugs that in. He needs this cannon up. Oh no, the Lings are piling in. Are they going to be able to get up the ramp? They've already taken down one of the Zealots. The cannon is going down as well. And Sayle'sBaldHead is forced to pull probes to try and hold his ramp as a last-ditch effort. He's trying to get up another cannon, but I don't think that cannon's going to finish. The Lings are just going to do what they can. They cancel yet another cannon there, and unfortunately for Sayle'sBaldHead, he may find himself shining away and wait, that's not a very good pun. I was going to say like getting himself waxed off the map or something. But yeah, the gateway does come up to help wall off the cannon. Can he hold 1, 2, 3, 4 Lings on the cannon? And GG. Let's have a quick look at this. So we will be moving on to the next map, of course. But my phone is going, but it can wait. Problem. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure. Let's see, apparently Miso is having a few problems getting in contact with the opponent, so let's just see who his opponent is. It's Deguel Aquario, so let's see if we can get them in contact with each other. Oh, it's the M-Max. We need to join Target 1 as well before they start without me, but they shouldn't do. Unfortunately, I don't actually know who Sayle'sBaldHead is. Wait, what? What version of the map have they hosted? Apparently they're hosting Eye of the Storm. But it's like the different version. Looks like the N-Max is still there. This is the one problem with not having an admin. Yeah, just quickly sorting out this admin problem, just so poor Miso, Andy, and Max don't walk over each other, because both of them are in fact here. They are chat bugged though. Foxhand, maybe... Yeah, looks like the chat bug is a lot worse today than it normally is. That's a bit unfortunate, but we are moving on to Pathfinder, which will be our second map here. In this PvC, it looks like target's actually gone random. Oh no, there we go, Zerg. Okay, so spawning in the 12 o'clock position, this is a 3-player map. We do have the purple Protoss, Sayle'sBaldHead. And over in the bottom left position, we do have the blue Zerg, SK's Target. Now, last game we saw Target go for a very quick all-in. Is he going to do the same thing here? Or is he going to be a little bit more conservative with his attack? We are in fact on Pathfinder. You can make a wall at the natural and cannons, of course. But is that going to come into play? Target is in fact the blue Zerg, and Sayle'sBaldHead is the purple Protoss. Just updating my overlay. There we go, we should have the correct colours again. Okay, we see, once again, I think this is actually going to be for a Forge Fast expand this time. We see the probe building the pylon, actually moving across the map. The important thing is here, he scouts the Overlord. Now, if you've never seen the Bacchus OSL 2010, or one of the other tournaments that this was actually featured in, this map, the 3 mains, are actually 3 islands. There's one at the top, one at the bottom left, and one at the bottom right. And they do have ramps. It's not a full island map, but there is a path that goes all the way around the spawns. So you can see some really funky things, especially when Terran are involved. Doesn't so much come into play as much in CvP, but of course there can be a lot of drop play on this map. There's a lot of surface area to really drop in. You can't really cover this with just static defense. You need mobile anti-air. Of course, the Protoss will often go for like Corsairs, so they should be okay. Probe is just being kind of annoying in the base. Will scout the overpull yet again. I believe he should have seen the Overlord leaving. Wait, no, wait, is this a 9 pull? No, there is another Overlord. Ah, of course, yeah, that was the second Overlord. It's all good. Overpull was the choice of the day, and it looks like a pylon being put down by Sayle'sBaldHead, trying to knock down target just a little bit, get any kind of advantage he can, really, given the fact he had so much trouble in the last game. The first cannon is coming up now. He can build the gateway there, and that makes a very nice wall. Oh, and of course this was on the TV in OSL as well. He played against, Fancy played against Jiangbi, so just pointed out. But yeah, shouldn't be too bad. We see, once again, 6 Zerglings coming out, but this time, looks like he will be expanding as well behind this. Now, will he drone up? Will he take it to a macro game? I think these 6 Lings are going to have a few problems against the cannons. Looks like we only have 1 cannon at the moment at the natural expansion, so these 6 Lings could actually go in, do a little bit of damage. The probe does in fact scout. There is another Ling on the map, so he should know to be extra careful, even pulling some probes just to be sure that no Lings do get past. And target this game, not going for the all-in, actually going straight up to 3 hatcheries with pool and no gas, so 3 hatch, no lair. Fairly common build these days. This can lead into various openings. He could even go for a 3 hatch Hydra Bust all in. And that could be pretty fun. We see the Cybernex Core coming up for Sayle'sBaldHead, fairly normal. And other than that, not too much. The probe. Sayle'sBaldHead is a random player, and he's doing a really good job keeping this probe alive against Target's Lings. Target, I believe is a 2100 MMR player. Sayle'sBaldHead said his max is about 1700. And right now, Sayle'sBaldHead is doing pretty well for himself. Like, he's not going to die to anything crazy early on. He's got the perfect scout. The 4th hatchery is coming up. No 5th hatchery just yet, but it is very possible that Target will be doing that very shortly. There's no tech either at the moment, so what tech is going to be the choice for Target, or is this just going to be a 3 hatchling all in? A 4 hatchling all in even. There's still no gas being mined for the Zerg play. You can in fact go up to 6 hatch without gas if you want to play crazily, but I don't think we'll see that this game. Stargate is coming up. That will allow him to put some pressure onto the Overlords and cut back the vision of Target, who is currently running around the map with his Zerglings. So, not really too much to report yet. There is a 5th hatchery coming up at the 3rd base. If you've never seen this map before, this 3rd base is a mineral only. It does have full minerals, so it is a 7 mineral base, so it's not too crazy. Looks like the first zealots actually try and move out, do cut down a couple of lings, and then will be falling back. Looks like Sero has a gambling addiction, which is a bit worrying. I believe this is going to be for +1 Corsair. Now, are we going to see +1 Corsair with DT? Now, as I said before, as a matter of fact, this is probably a better map for Reavers, so we do see the gas is finally up. The Evolution Chamber, the first one, is going down. This will allow him to get those early upgrades and also the spores to help deal with the Corsairs, because he has delayed his Hydralisks a long time. The 5th hatchery is now up. 3 zealots getting it into mineral line. There is no reaction right now by Target. The drones are pulled, but these zealots have done their job. They've scouted the 5th hatchery. He hasn't seen the 4th hatchery yet, but the Hydralisk Den is finally coming up, using this as a semi-wall-in. Let's see how much damage the Zealots can do. One has 2 kills so far, and that's about it, but the Lings have come back. The Zealot control isn't perfect, but he is going to pull back. Can he get into this little choke? This will allow him to trade pretty efficiently with the Lings, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. A nice drone drill, actually blocking the Zealots from attacking anything. 1 extra drone does go down though, but that is a very awkward trade to make. The first Corsair is out. It killed the Overlord at his main, and it's going to get another one, so Target is going to find himself even more supply block, down to 37 supply out of 29. And once again, there is another 2 Overlords that he can go for. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more difficult now. Looks like Target's actually messed up his rally point. He's sending 3 drones with this. Wait, he sent 3 drones up there even. The Corsairs are moving around trying to do what they can, but these spores have helped him a lot. Lair is finally coming up. What tech choice do we have? We do have the Citadel coming up and the Templar Archives. Now this can be either 4 High Templar, or you can go Corsair DT. He is going +1 on these Corsairs, as you can see in the Cybernetics Ore. Second gas is now going up. And once again, another creep colony as well, just to be super safe. Now, looks like Sayle'sBaldHead is actually going to try and expand over this top left position. This is a very easily defendable base for him. I think you can actually block this with a pylon, or at least a gateway here, and that does make it tight to pretty much everything. So, should be a fairly easy base for him to take, and that also does clear out the back way. We do see the Bonneth build kind of thing coming out. 2 DTs with the Zealots. The Corsairs are going to move down, try and deny any Overlord scouting they can. There is actually a stray link here. I thought that was an Overlord, but rather than that, we will see the Corsairs, Zealots, and DTs try and go for this bottom base. There is a spore, but we do see a pause. Very distracted. Oh my god. Okay, we've got the resume. Looks like the DTs, Zealots, and Corsairs are going to move down. The Lings have actually been pulled right back. They're pulled back the opposite direction. No upgrades as of yet for either player, so fairly even. He needs to take down this Sunken, and when he does, there's actually no detection for these DTs. These DTs can go to town on absolutely everything. Corsairs overhead are able to block the Overlords from coming in. Another creep colony is going up, but these DTs are going to clean up absolutely everything over here, trying to panic build a spore, but it's not going to build quick enough. Is there an overlord anywhere nearby? No, there isn't. Target has had to leave all his overlords by this sunken colony, and those DTs actually forced to turn home. Not too sure why they've actually come home there, really. He could continue doing damage. I guess he was worried that there was going to be an overlord popping out of one of these eggs, and realistically you do not want to be losing those. 4 kills on one DT, 6 on another, 10 kills overall. More zealots do pop out. We see 5 gateways in the main of 6 gateways in the main of the Protoss player. He's going to have trouble leaving his base though. He's going to have to blow up the only pylon that's powering all of these buildings, and that's going to make it a little bit awkward to leave when he starts going into Dragoons. He does have a High Templar as well, gaining enough energy for Storm. And meanwhile, in the Zerg base, we don't see anything too crazy. It looks like he has stabilized. He's starting to drone up again at his 3rd base, not actually opting to go for a 4th yet. Kind of interesting. Let's see what the Corsairs can get done. There is still that Spore colony. How many Corsairs does he have? He still only has 4 Corsairs. They are on +1 attack. Of course, there won't be any air armor for the Zerg player. There's no Spire, and not really worth doing that unless you're going for Mulus, but that won't be really an option that Target can afford to go through right now. And we see, like, oh, there we go, he's actually blowing up the egg to try and get out of his base, but this is still going to be such a pain for his Dragoons to get through. I imagine they're going to get stuck like crazy. We can already see that Dragoon is actually running back into the main. This is going to be very problematic. Looks like the Zerg forces are now moving across onto the map. Target has done a pretty good job macroing up considering the harassment he's taken. Are there any upgrades? +1 attack for the Zerg player. Any upgrades for the Protoss? +1 attack as well. Looks like this will be +2 attack for him as well. If he can finish that in time, that will be good, but there's currently no observers. We do have the first shuttle out, and he is going to move down, he's going to spot these lurkers, but he will need detection. We do see the DTs actually blocking this off. Really nice use of those. Going to be a little bit harder for him to pass through without that Overlord. What are the Corsairs actually up to right now? Does he still have them alive? Yes, he does. Up to 5 in his main. The observatory is coming up. But for now, Target is going to find himself lurker contained. He does get a very nice storm there though, hitting both of the lurkers. Wow, that actually whiffs just on that one. A bit unfortunate. The Corsairs try and move in to take out the Overlord, so he needs to get one shot off, but doesn't, and will miss out on that. Now, the lurker contain on this map isn't all that great. It does work, it does serve the purpose, of course, but he does have this back mineral only he can take, and he's also going to loop round and take this base here. Do we see any hive? Wow, sorry guys, I completely missed this. 2 DTs in the main have killed all of the drones there, taking out even the spawning pool. A big engagement at the front. Nice storms go down. Looks like Target is going to have trouble breaking this. He's lost his spawning pool. He's losing the gas even. We see some overlords coming in to try and detect these. But, I mean, Sayle'sBaldHead, despite talking himself down at the beginning of the game, is in fact able to clean everything up. Even killing the Hydralisks that come in to try and save it. Even getting an extra drone. 20 kills if he gets his Hydralisk on that DT before it dies. That is the ultimate value. Those were actually the DTs that we're holding here. We see another big engagement. Looks like Sayle'sBaldHead is going to try and break out. He's breaking out with Storm though. His observer is at the back, losing some Dragoons for free, unfortunately. Can't afford to be too over the top with his... Wow, another DT actually in the base. This is the one from before. It will go down though to the 3 Hydralisks. 2 Hydralisks now, but that will allow Target to stabilize. Target actually opting to take this secondary natural base, which will free him up to take this main. But of course that is once again open to all of the shuttle shenanigans we could see coming out of the Protoss player. Has he added on any more gateways? No. Still 6 gateways, back up to 3 Corsairs. And it looks like he is going to be going to take this back mineral only. Now one thing is, Sayle'sBaldHead's money is absolutely insane. He's not been spending his money optimally at all. but due to the fact he's been doing so much harass, it's actually kept him in the game. Now, imagine if Target still had all his drones at his main. He is remaxing, well not remaxing, but he is rebuilding his drones now. But his army, he's lost so many units to the Protoss forces. +2 attack is done. +2 attack is done actually for both players. Interestingly, Sayle'sBaldHead hasn't seen this third base, or fourth base even, so he's not going to know about it. He's going to try and engage the front. Can he actually bust it through? There's one Templar here. How much energy does he have for Storm? He has one Storm available. Not too many Zealots even. This could actually be a mistake pushing in here. Hydralisk against just pure Dragoon. Pretty good trade for the Zerg player. So many Hydralisks. Target showing that he can macro up pretty well off of 3 bases. Now 4 even, getting his gas. And Sayle'sBaldHead showing when you don't have the macro to keep up, you do not have, unfortunately, enough room really to do anything. Like, imagine if all that money was more units. That would be an insane army, an unstoppable army you might even say. Looks like he is getting this 4th base. No, he's not. That's actually just a Dragoon trying to keep everything alive. And Target, not knowing if he's taking it, looks like he's going to try and be a bit clever and move around the backside to try and do a little bit of harassment on this 4th base. Now the funny thing about the map architecture here is if he moves around here, Sayle'sBaldHead can actually just move across the middle of the map there. A bit unfortunate. Looks like need to be boxing this way so you're close to the minimap apparently. But this 4th base will be denied. Now Corsair is actually getting all of the overlords that were trying to move over to these Hydralisks. There's no detection up there. If he can move some DTs up, he could do a lot of damage, but doesn't look like he currently has any. Do we see a hive from the Zerg player? No, not just yet. Up to, I believe, 6 hatcheries now with his 4th base. Even using, thank you very much for the cheer, Hongju. Even using his Hydralisk just to make sure there's nothing going on. But once again, here, as I said before, the Zerg army is completely outpositioned. He is in fact supply blocked though. There's a lot of Dragoons here, and it looks like these Hydra on move command not actually attacking. This could be a bit unfortunate there for Target as he pulls back. But, oh, it looks like they're going to sandwich them in the middle of the map. Can he kill all these Hydralisks? If he can kill all the Hydralisks, he can win the game. His bank is so high right now, he's not spending his money. And these Hydralisks are forced into the back corner of the map. Not the place he wants to be going to. Has Sayle'sBaldHead actually seen this base? I don't think he has, unfortunately. Looks like the Hydralisks are actually going to be forced to turn and fight. If he can funnel him through this gap, he may be able to do something. A nice storm, though, from Sayle'sBaldHead. Does take out 3 Hydralisks. But he's not trading efficiently. He's actually pushing through the choke. The worst place he could be doing, but some nice storms do go down, even storming his own observer. But he takes out all of Target's army in the top right corner. There is another small amount of units down here in the bottom of the map trying to clear out any observers he can. But once again, Sayle'sBaldHead still only on 3 base. His main is slowly mining out. His natural about halfway gone as well, so looks like he has in fact scouted this base. He just did send an observer over there, and he will take out this hatchery. There's no 5th base yet for the Zerg player. There's no Nidus over here either, and this base is most certainly going to go down. We see another movement over here on the left side of the map. Actually a shuttle with some DTs. How much damage can he do? It looks like 1 DT is going to run into the sunken, so that's not going to be able to do too much. Where did the shuttle go? There we go. The shuttle is still moving in. The 4th base of the Zerg player is of course down over here on the right. But there's so many overlords here. Oh wow, 4 DT drop. Artosis somewhere is having an aneurysm. Someone call an ambulance. Even trying to take out the gas for some reason. Not being the most active. There's so many Hydralisks under here though. They kill all the... Wait. Whoa, actually the 2 DTs are still alive. This was actually a big drop. That's why all the overlords were here. The DTs are cleaned up, but the important thing is he scouted the drop. Now what is his reaction going to be? He's ahead in the game. He's ahead by 100 supply. And all he needs to do to win this game now is to kill this drop. Now, if he goes in at the wrong angle, he could have trouble, but he's going to bust the front. He's going in, there's only 1 sunken, 2 spores, and this big drop, if he catches these overlords before they unload, this could be catastrophic for target. And it looks like Sayle'sBaldHead, though, is going to push forward. The units are trying to drop out the back, but they're in a funnel. Can't do too much. A lovely storm goes down. So many dead Hydralisks. And GG. Wow. Sayle'sBaldHead really pulling it back in that game. Pretty good for him. Zelda Sayle's big head. That would be even funnier. I wish Sayle was here to cast this game. Okay, looks like they are going to go into their third game. Hopefully everything was fine at this end. And that will move us on to the final map of the series. This is a best of 3, of course. Sayle'sBaldHead pulling back a win against a very strong opponent, actually. So pretty good job by him. I'm going to join the game. We'll throw up the map so you can see it will be Eye of the Storm. And let's get in the game. Okay, Eye of the Storm is a more standard map, I guess, out of all of them. You do have a natural base outside a very small choke. I think that choke is actually smaller than on Town Cross. I don't believe you can actually build anything in the Eye of the Storm one. But that should be pretty cool. Looks like we are getting ready to go into the game, so I'm going to throw back up the game screen. And let's get going. Apparently the map is making Target dizzy. Bit unfortunate there for him. Hongchua's got it in for Zeldaran today. Wow, that's savage. Okay, in the top left 10 o'clock position, we do have the green Zerg, who did just lose the previous game, SK's Target. And over here, in close horizontal spawns, we do have Sayle'sBaldHead, the Teal Protoss. Okay, let's throw up the right overlay. So we do have Target in the 10 o'clock. Sayle'sBaldHead in the 2 o'clock. It is green versus teal. It looks like they're chatting about the map creator. Kind of cool. I'm actually gonna throw that up. Kickstyle weird map. I did not make the map, guys. Okay, we do once again see a very possible Forge Fast expand. Actually, I believe you might be able to build a pylon in that gap. Scouting in the wrong direction though. And we see Target going up to at least 9 drones. I believe this will be an overpull again. This has been his build of choice so far. Actually, it could in fact be for a 12 hatch this game, so being a little bit more conservative, playing a little bit of a more macro-orientated style. I know somewhere, sometime, Sayle is actually watching this, and Fabian is laughing his head off at this name. When I saw this name in the leaderboard, I hated it, but I had to do it. Like, I had to read that out. There was no way I could miss this game, because Target's a pretty good Zerg as well. He's just come back. He's in SK and SCC at the same time. He's at least SCC on the Discord. And it looks like we do see the Forge coming up as expected, along with the 12 hatch, so very, very standard openings from both players. Now this can be a very good map for the old Savior style of Zerg, where you take your 3rd hatch at another natural. Now, the interesting thing about this map that you guys may have not seen, the top and bottom bases here are only mineral only. These are the natural 3rd bases for the main and natural setup, so you can move out into the middle and take one of these pocket bases, or more realistically, you want to be taking one of the other naturals. So if you take this natural with a hatchery, you can spam static defense there and you'll be perfectly safe. But whether or not that's going to fit Target style, I'm not too sure. Now this is a very easily wallable map. You may only be able to get a main and a natural very simply, but of course it does allow the ability to wall off with ease, so he should be, Sayle'sBaldHead should be perfectly fine The extractor is coming up for Target. Target actually opting to take one of these pocket bases as his third. And we see the assimilator coming up to Target as well, so he's going to be able to start teching up. Nexus on the way. And all pretty standard from here. And yeah, Sayle'sBaldHead is Canenzi's dog. A few. Okay, these players are very chatty. If I was Kesper, I'd be banning both of them right now, but it's all good. It's all good. But we see actually only 2 Lings out this time, so he is going to play a more conservative style, not being aggressive. Maybe seeing how small the choke is, realizing it's going to be very hard to do any form of Ling all-in on this map. Finally, the Overlord will scout that as well. Now, the one problem with a choke like this is it is very hard to fit cannons. I believe you can fit about 4 cannons here and maybe some behind, but these buildings will almost certainly go down from non-range Hydralisks actually with the cannon in that position. Another 2 drones are actually transferring directly in front of the probe, so this Zealot is going to be able to chase those down if he wants to. But looks like he's going to try and be a little bit more aggressive. Now, giving up your 3rd location to the Protoss is kind of interesting from Target, but maybe he feels comfortable enough. He sees the first Zealot, he knows it was forge fast expand. So how much realistically is this Zealot going to be able to do? He's going to try and get behind the minerals, but it's not attacking. You need to be facing the right way. Looks like he is in the right place now, but there's going to be Lings coming in from both sides. 3 sides actually, really nice surround there by Target actually, not leaving his... Oh, hey Scan, sorry you missed it. You missed it by like 50 minutes. That's a bit unfortunate. Probably because daylight savings changed in the UK, so maybe you that was from last week though, so maybe you're a bit confused by the timing. What I'll do is next week I'll remind you, just if you've got time, and then I can just say, hey, it's starting up soon, and then you can register if you got time for it. Okay, so Target is just sitting with the Lings outside the front. We do have the first Corsair finally out on the field. Is there a Hydralisk Den? No, there's actually a Spire this game, so we will see the Spire, the 4th hatchery going up, the 5th hatchery going up at the same time even. And this Spire will be to try and deflect these Corsairs, but for the time being, the Spire is not finished. There will not be any Scourge or any anti-air, so these Corsairs should be able to do a decent amount of damage. The Hydralisk Den is finally coming up as well. Fairly standard from Target. Nothing too crazy. Will lose at least 1 Overlord here though. Can Sayle'sBaldHead actually get a couple? There's no defenses up here. The Zealot is completely uncontested. All the Lings are outside of Sayle'sBaldHead's main actually. So he does manage to push the drones away from mining for just a little bit longer. And every little lost bit of mining time is good for Sayle'sBaldHead. He did have an insane bank last game. The 2nd Corsair has just popped. +1 air weapons on the way, along with +1 ground weapons as well. Now the Hydralisk Den has finished. Is he going to go all in with this, or is this going to be a more economical Hydra build? Of course, Hydras are fairly standard. I think with the Evolution Chamber, we're not going to see any crazy busts coming from him. He does have this Spire for the Scourge, but not really building any... Oh, he actually has 4 here. Spoke too soon. That is really weird. Apparently the Pathfinder map isn't working. Let's follow the Scourge while I try and fix this. There's no download on EL either. Okay, so looks like hopefully UMS should work. Hopefully Foxhound will keep me up to date on that. Oh, that is a bit awkward because we just hosted it. Yeah, just need to try and figure this out. We'll obviously see the end of this game first. Hopefully the other players don't mind waiting. Just want to see how this game goes. Of course, we are getting into the stage where +1 is finished for the Protoss player. The DTs are in fact out, 5 Corsairs on the map even, and this could be a very strong push by Sayle'sBaldHead, who did actually rate himself down at the beginning of the game. We do see some, or at least one Sunken and some Hydralisks at the 3rd base, another creep colony just to be safe, and also a similar thing at the main base of target as well. Spore and Sunken just being perfectly safe, and another Spore being added at the back. Not wanting to lose to this. The Zealots can do a lot of damage, but there's only actually one DT here, and the DTs are going to be the main source of damage, but there should be enough Hydras to clean this up. Hopefully someone else has a version of the map that they can host, but I'm fairly certain it worked. I guess my map pack maybe didn't upload it properly, which is a bit of a pain. Let's just keep an eye on the game and the chat at the same time. Do apologise. When you're trying to run the tournament yourself, it's a bit awkward. Need to see if I can get someone in to help admin at some point. I know Foxan's doing a really good job trying to help out, so very much appreciated to him. Looks like Sayle'sBaldHead is going to try and take this 3rd base at the top of this ramp. You can actually wall this off with just pylons, although that's more a thing you would do against Terran, stop vultures coming in. And the Hydras are in fact actually going to smell this out, or sniff this out even, and go for it. Apparently it's okay. Apparently Sayle'sBaldHead is a Korean but living in Germany, according to Hongju, so pretty interesting there. We see a weird counterattack going on. There's so many Zealots coming out that side. The Corsairs actually get caught in the middle of the map, and the Hydralisks are going to try and take out +2. Can they get the Forge? They're actually going for a bust. There's only 2 High Templar, only one of them have enough for Storm. But there's almost 2 Storms on here, adding 3 cannons. Just to be sure, the Zealots at the front are being cleaned up. He's taken out the Sunken colony, and he is now in the main. How much damage can he do? Can he get the Spire, or is he going to go for the drones? These Hydralisks are a +1 attack, and it looks like they will be able to clean this up. One drone does go down, but I don't think that's going to be enough for him. He's actually doing a lot better on the macro side this time. He does still this time only have 5 gateways, but he is building out of them a lot more consistently. But look at Target. Target only just behind the supply, and look at how many Hydralisks there are marching out of all 3 of his bases. They're actually going to go and check to make sure there's not actually an expansion down here, which is a bit strange considering he already scouted that out. And it looks like we do once again have the 5 lurkers morphing in the middle. Now, Sayle'sBaldHead is going to have a lot of trouble expanding. He's actually trying to take this mineral only at the top. Now, interestingly, this is a mineral only, but it does have more minerals, more mineral patches even than most normal mineral only bases would have, given the fact it is between the bases and it is a symmetrical map for the most part. The minerals aren't, but it is mirrored, of course, down here. So it's symmetrical on the vertical, minus the gas, of course. That would be kind of crazy. We do see the Lurker team going up though, and what is Sayle'sBaldHead going to be able to do against this? There's actually a drone out on the map, bit of a miss rally, bit unfortunate for Target, who now finds himself ahead in supply against the Protoss player, while the Corsairs actually try and move in, trying to do what they can. Thank you once again for the cheer, Hongju. One of the Corsair does go down. I like the rip icon, that's actually quite cool. This is going to be interesting though. There's Hydras coming in from both sides. There's cannons only on one of them. This 4th base is going to have to be cancelled. He's not going to he does cancel it. He cancelled it just at the very last second. And that is going to save him 400 minerals that he can't really afford to lose. But this is a dire, dire situation for Sayle'sBaldHead. He finds himself stuck coming out of a convex against a concave of lurkers. No observer actually out the front at the moment. He does have Storm. The lurkers are actually quite close together. 1 attack is done, 2 attack for the Protoss player, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to break out here. He did load something up into a shuttle. Where is he going to send the shuttle? Is he going to try and take this base again? Cleverly, Target has left his Overlord there, so that should be pretty good. He's going to be able to leave the probe there. The probe's going to try and take this base, but when is there going to be the reaction to go and kill it? How much is he going to send? It looks like he's only going to... Wait, no, he's not sending the Lings. But he is going to go after this. Oh, the shuttle's going to go down. There's no way he can outrun. It's not got speed. The DTs have been dropped. They try and take out a few Hydralisks. And now they're going to be running across on foot. Looks like finally we do have a reaction to the base over on the right side. And we do finally see the Observer coming up. It's sniped immediately. Really nice work by Target there, leaving that Overlord at the front. With the Hydralisk, does get that Observer straight away. The DTs are moving in, but there's such a nice wall up here with the Hydralisks and the Sunken Colonies. Both DTs have gone down. The Queen's Nest is up. Hive is on the way. And we do see the 4th base of the Protoss player, but now is the time for the break. Some really nice storms actually knocking down a lot of the Lurkers. Only 4 do remain. Another great storm on the Hydralisk. The Hydralisks are actually going to be low on health now. With +2 attack, he should be able to rip through it, but his Templar are moving a little bit too far forward. Actually, magic boxing storming. Not the easiest thing to do. Another 2 Lurkers actually burrow in a swarm. And just Hydralisks remain, but there's so many... Oh, such a nice storm on the ramp. And that's going to be enough to re-secure this position outside of Sayle'sBaldHead's natural. And I still can't get over saying that name. Such a funny name. Cadenzi's dog is kind of funny. We see him trying to break out still. He's trying to target down the Lurkers. There's just so many units with +2 from the Zerg player that I don't think Sayle'sBaldHead is going to be able to break out. Once again, he's got the same problem he had last time. His bank is absolutely massive. He does have 7 gateways now in his main. Actually adding 8 and 9. He knows he's stuck. He knows... no, I was going to say 10. He knows there's not really too much he can do. Hive is done. Do we see a Defiler Mound? Is he going to go for that very annoying Swarm? Or is he just using it for his upgrades? He does have 0-0 on his melee. 2-0 done on his ranged. It looks like some Scourge as well, just checking around for any form... Wait, how the heck did this probe get out there? I think he must have dropped it with a shuttle, but I don't even think he has one. So that must have been a very lucky probe that hid from before or something. And we actually see a Speed Overlord going around the bottom. Not sure if that's going for a drop or not. Looks like people are pointing out the name in chat, which is kind of funny. But this is the ultimate contain. It's going to be so difficult for Sayle'sBaldHead, even with spending his bank to even get out the base. His natural is nearly mined out. His main is almost gone. The only... Wow, okay, apparently Zealots can run through that. The Zealots are going to run around pulling some of the units back. Now, is he going to use this as an opportunity to push forward? I don't think he has enough units. And yeah, Hongju, this is the guy in SCC. It's the same guy. I know you'll get this in two minutes, but I mean, he's actually used this move out with the Zealots to actually do this. A really nice storm. He's going to be able to clean up the Hydralisk. Another really nice storm goes down on the Lurkers, somehow not killing that though. And I think he stormed his own Observer. The Observer is down. Once again, how is he going to break out? There's just so many units coming from all angles. Even Overlords flying ahead trying to take some of the Dragoon shots. And I think, unfortunately, for Sayle'sBaldHead, there's no comb over here. He's fully mauled. And he is going to have to tap out of this game at some point soon. It looks like we do have target with the 5th base, is going to go and take, or with the 4th base even, is going to go and take the 5th base at the other main. And Sayle'sBaldHead forced to transfer all his probes away from his main into a nearly mined out natural, not the best place you want to be in. And I think unfortunately for him, he's not really going to be able to do too much. These Zealots trying to do their best, actually Olympic runners running through all of the Zerg army. This is like watching the AI playing against some Zealots. They're just like following them forever. But just so many units from target. Still 1-1 upgrades now for his melee, 2-1 for his range. Defilers are done. The swarm goes down and these cannons are doing absolutely nothing. Haven't he used the Zealots, but he does manage to get down the first Lurker. But it's just not enough. I hate to call the game, but it would take an absolute miracle for Sayle'sBaldHead to do this. Now, I mean, it's very possible that he pulls off some really kind of crazy Gosu Bisu comeback, but I don't think it's going to happen. More lurkers are moving forward. There's going to be another swarm, and his natural nexus, which is the only place that he has mining, but even then that won't be mining for long, is going to go down. The Archon goes down. The lurker's still under the swarm. Another consume goes down. Even if the swarm runs out, it doesn't matter. On 5 bases, Target is going to take down Sayle'sBaldHead in this third game on Eye of the Storm even. And there's not too much he can do. Is there even an Ultra's cabin? I'm not sure it really matters. Nothing too crazy. All he has to do is just keep funneling units out the front. There is 1 storm here, but it's not going to be enough. Actually 2 storms, I can't count. And I mean, Zealots are holding on against the lurkers on the swarm. I wish I had melee units as a Terra player, but I think this is definitely the end of the game here. The lurkers are on top of the army, actually all going down, somehow holding on, but he's no longer mining. And he is in utter dire straits. Such a huge army, just all over the place, actually trying to take out the Charlotte. Looks like there was a DT down here, it does get 9 kills, but I'm not sure it really matters, unfortunately. Yeah, there we go. The Archons and the Dragoons are going to try and move forward. He's going to do what he can to try and take a third base, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. He's forced back up the ramp. The Zealot's actually getting free. The Zergling's actually getting free hits on the Archon, and I just pressed the wrong keyboard key. And that is going to be enough, even with the plague, just to ruin everything. And GG. Sayle'sBaldHead does what he can to try and fight his way back in the series, but unfortunately it isn't enough. And that is going to be enough to let Target win the game overall. So well played by him. Target will move into the next round, and he will be facing, I believe there's probably an opponent